So it's going to be a lot of fun. So obviously, early 2000s was kind of like the golden DVD age, and it brought us all these cool comedy movies like this, and brought us all these fun things like video game playing monkeys and funny tasting tea, and of course, a fucking sweet car, right? So let's go ahead, let's get for the cast of Grandma's Boy, Allen Covert, Nick Swardson, Joe David Moore, everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up, Providence?
Yeah, let's go.
It's fucking rage.
Rage? What do you mean by that? Rage? That was my bad Nealon impression.
All right, good start.
So, obviously, the movie has over the years become this extreme comedy classic, but on paper, this thing must have been just absolutely batshit insane. How did you guys go about getting this thing made in the first place?
Well, do you want to start that one?
Sandler bullied someone into... No, actually... No, it's a crazy story because we had a version of a... We decided that somehow we were going to convince someone to make a movie starring me. So Barry Warnick wrote a draft, but it was a romantic comedy. It was like PG-13, and Sandler was like,
Hey, whoa, here we go.
Party foul.
It's okay, we're just messing.
and Sandler was like, dude, your first movie is not going to be a romantic comedy. You're lucky we're getting anything made. And he goes, you got to make it crazy and full of weed like your life is. And so he had seen you.
Okay, so here was the deal.
Like I said.
So I get a call from my manager, and he's like, hey, Adam Sandler wants to meet you. And I'm like, okay, I think you have the wrong number, you know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? So he's like, no, Adam Sandler saw your stand-up on Comedy Central, and he goes, you did jokes about your grandmother. So I had a Comedy Central half-hour special like back in 2000. So I did jokes about my grandma. So anyway, I went and sat down with Sandler, and Covert was there, and they were like, hey man, love your stand-up. And they were like, we heard you're a writer. So like I just written the original script for Malibu's Most Wanted. So they were like, we heard you are a screenwriter too. And so Adam's like, we have this movie and it fucking sucks. And it's a PG broad romantic comedy and we need somebody to make it insane. He's like, we need it rated R, fucking weed, just crazy. He's like, you can write yourself in the movie, whatever part you want. So I was like, okay. And so then Covert and I sat down page one and just wrote this insanity. And I threw out, you know, a monkey, a fucking lion, a guy that thinks he's a robot. It was like brain diarrhea on cloud 9 for me. I had never been offered anything. They were like, it's a small movie, so you guys just make it insane. And they were like, just have fun with it. It was like a kid in a candy store.
It had to be about a grandma because I had gone to Florida. My dad had triple bypass, and he was living alone. So I went down to take care of him, and his 88-year-old mom decided she was going to come help. And so I was living in this tiny condo with my grandmother, and I have tattoos that she didn't know about. I didn't have these then. I just had ones on my back, but she didn't know about it, so I had to sleep in whatever clothes I came home in. And she would wake up when I came in the door and make crazy buffets of leftovers for me. And she watched, not Village Antique Roadshow, I always say Village Roadshow. She was obsessed with the Food Network and would just sit there like, and so then
so they had this premise of Grandma's Boy, a guy living with his grandma. And Corey used to be a way bigger stoner back then. So it was like a good juxtaposition of like this old community and then this fucking asshole, you know what I mean? So it was perfect setup for comedy.
But the other thing is that the original writer, his dad, is a big, powerful guy in Hollywood, so he was determined to find us the money to get it made. And we were actually, where were we? What were we shooting?
What are you talking about?
We were shooting some movie, and Sandy called and said, "You have the." Oh, we were shooting Longest Yard, and we were writing Benchwarmers. And Sandy called. This guy called and said, "Oh, we have the money." And I was like, "Do you really have the money, or is it like the last 10 times where we met people and they were like, yeah, no, we just got to find the money?" He goes, "No, I got this guy. We got the money," and they had the money.
So the budget was only $5 million. So it was just this little. It was a little movie, and you know.
But then Fox was going to distribute it, and the one thing that Fox, the one note or contribution Fox supplied us was. By the way.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's coming off a dodgeball.
He came off a dodgeball, and they go, "Look, we know you're looking for someone. This kid, Joel Moore, is really..." And by the way, he was a kid back then. What were you, like 12?
Yeah, like 13.
Yeah.
13 years old, yeah.
And
Just
so
had
we were
my
like,
bar
"Oh,
mitzvah."
great, because we could not find anyone who got it.
Well, here's the deal. So the character of JP, it was written as a young kid. It was written as a child prodigy. So it was written for a 14, 15-year-old actor. So we were auditioning these people, and I created the whole thing of the guy who has a split personality. So in my head, I knew how to do it. And so a lot of these younger people, like, nobody could figure it out. And so they were coming in like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "No, it's like a half robot guy." So they'd be like, "Oh," so I'm like, blah, blah, and then like, beep, bop, 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 beep, bop, bop. And I'm like, no.
No, you don't get it.
And I'm like, no. And so we read all these people. We read tons of people. And one person, this is a true story. I think you know this, but we worked out a deal, and his agent actually messed it up. But it was pretty close to being locked in for JP to be Frankie Muniz from Malcolm in the Middle.
And
his agent botched the deal up. And then our friend, one of my friends, Debbie Liebling at Fox, was like, "Hey, I know this guy's age isn't right for the role, but we really want you to read him." And I had seen Dodgeball. So Joel came in, and I still vividly remember his audition, and it was so fucking good. And it was the scene where he broke down. It was like the emotional scene of you, like admitting that you stole the game, or
No, I thought it was.
Well, there were different scenes, I'll tell you, because Nick was in
what was
the
your
audition, and this is back when you auditioned.
In
Because
person.
now for auditions, people just put a tape and they just send it into a casting director. But I was at Fox, I think, or at Sony, maybe at Happy Madison.
Yeah, we were at Sony.
And I go in and I don't know any of these guys, right? And this script was insane. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this character? And I remember I sort of tried it, and you responded to it. And you were like, "That's great." And you were like, and I go, I think I took a moment and I was like, "Can you explain, can you like give me a version of this?" And you were like, "Yeah, you know, you just kind of talk normal, and then you go into a fucking voice." And he does that, and I go, "Got it." And I just fucking murdered it.
It clicked with him right there, and that was so impressive too, because he was the only person that took that note. And then there was a brief moment where, because nobody could do it, where we had talked about me playing JP, even though I wrote the Jeff character for myself, and I had written all that dialogue for myself, but there was a moment where I was gonna have to be JP because nobody could get it. But Joel nailed it, and
Joel
it was
nailed
fucking...
it. And he was like Gollum.
It was just... It was so epic. It's my favorite part of... Joel is my favorite part of the movie.
No, just to let you know, there were nights like that one night where you were doing the I Want to Put a Cobra. I had to tell him to leave the set because he kept giggling.
I laughed all the time.
Anytime.
Oh, and I would break on nearly every scene. Like, I was so unprofessional. Like it was
Like he would
break
start
meaning
laughing
like
in
I
the
couldn't
middle.
get the line out, you know, like I was laughing halfway through. I'm
took
sure there were so many great, brilliant lines that you pitched me, and I just couldn't get them out.
I just kept feeding him lines. But one of the takes that I had to, I think they had actually had to change the shot where it was just a tight shot of Joel instead of like, there is a wide shot, but I had to be out of the wide because when he did the Adios turd nuggets, and I fucking broke every time. And he was like,
time.
And I was like, oh my
And I
God.
will say that was completely made up. Like, I
Yeah.
think you were just like, I think Goosen, the director, was just like, okay, I need you to come in and
Yeah.
just do some shit. And I'm like, oh, no, nothing? You just want me to figure it out? And I just figured it out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's these movies, and you know, we've all done a dumb amount of films, but you don't have this experience on every movie. And I'm telling you this in earnest. Like, this was one of the funnest movies I will ever make in my entire life.
Yeah,
because there was no rules. Nobody could control us. And like Nick said,
we
like
were
it
in
was just to
charge.
make people laugh.
On the set, Nick and I were in charge.
Imagine these fucking idiots in charge of a movie.
And my old
Idiot
assistant.
or genius.
Yes.
My old assistant was the director, so he would try to tell me to do stuff, and I'd go, shut up.
Yeah, that was a great thing about doing, you know, a smaller movie because there's no expectation. And I remember distinctly going like, this movie's gonna fucking eat it, man. I just know in my head, like in the theater, I just was like, God, I don't know how anybody's gonna get this because this is pre-internet, really. So it wasn't like, there wasn't a mass marketing. There wasn't like, they just didn't know. Like the internet was kind of coming into fruition. So they were still like, how do we promote this in newspapers and on billboards and stuff like that? I'm like, you can't promote
like, do you
this.
think
Reader's
But I knew,
Digest.
but I knew once it hit DVD, I'm like, this is gonna go gangbusters. Because people can just sit and absorb it and watch all the nuances. And the thing I love about the Grandma's Boy fan base is like, people have seen the movie like 10 times, and then the 11th time, they'll notice something that they never saw before. They'll notice something in the background. They'll notice little things that are peppered in throughout the movie. So I do
There's
love
a lot
that.
of crazy stuff. Like Swardson and I spent so much time designing every poster on the wall at Brainasium. Every single poster is a joke.
Yeah.
And like we literally just sat there and we would tell them, no, the unicorn's horn has to go deep into the body with a lot of blood coming out. There's a gay robot poster for a game called.
Yeah, there's
There's
it was
one
just
that
a
says
grab
Canada
bag.
must die, and it's literally a guy in a t-shirt with a Canadian maple leaf just getting shot by like 5 soldiers.
Yeah, it's just fake
It just-
video
and
games.
he's
You couldn't even do half of that right now.
Oh,
Like,
we took a guy from The Office who was Adrian was someone's assistant,
Yeah, we just put him
and we
his
put
face on it.
blew his face up really fat and colored it in and called it Phaedrian's Quest, and he was just like a drunk idiot.
Yeah, he was an alcoholic.
I mean, we
so.
just went out of our way to put there's little time, just that we would giggle at.
Yeah.
So I mean, you brought up the, how you're gonna market it in papers. Because I believe the trailer. I remember watching the trailer when it came out. I was like, okay, there's a monkey playing video games, and a naked guy with a Christmas tree.
Yep.
And I have no idea what the hell is going on, but all the guys I like are in it, so I'm in. And it like you said, then DVD came and boom.
And Dante's weed, like, I bought weed from a guy, and he would have names for every weed. And, like, he didn't have crazy animals. He had a little squirrel that flies. Yes. And so you'd be in this guy's shitty apartment out in San Fernando Valley, and there's some squirrel flying, and you're literally just trying to get weed. But then Swartson's like, what if he has a lion? And then the monkey's like, oh, the monkey. And Dr. Shakalu was only in one scene. In the original script, he was in the one scene at the beginning. And at the read-through, he was so funny, and Sandler goes, keep that guy around. That's great. And so we just had him as Dante's sidekick, but we found out that he speaks 8 languages fluently. So every scene he's in, he speaks a different language. And when he spoke Mandarin to the karate instructor was like, what's going on here, man?
Yeah.
Because he was full in the tribal gear. It was the scene, karate monkey.
Well, I remember it was originally a cheetah, and then me and the director went and saw Harold and Kumar, and they had a whole bit with the cheetah, and I was like, motherfucker. And so I went back and got the script, and I was like, and then I just came up with The Lion. But I was like, I was so devastated. That's the thing about writing comedy. And in any kind of comedy, it's like, you know, you just always want to make sure you're the first one there. You know, and especially with like stand-up and stuff, you're just like, when somebody does something, you're like, damn it, I got to go back and change it.
But then we ended up getting the bonus line of, and I looked up and it was the fucking
King of the Jungle. Yeah.
It's the King of the Jungle.
Yeah.
I have to just take one quick moment because I see somebody back here I want to shout out, and I want to give you a nice little. We have a pirate on our team.
Oh,
there he
yes.
is. Hey, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, dude.
Is that from Avatar?
Yeah. Deleted scenes.
Deleted scenes.
And if you think that Swardson doesn't have a split personality and do that nonstop all day, you're
There has
wrong.
not been a moment in 20 years that whenever I do see Swarty, where he doesn't walk up and go, genitals! Just the word.
But you know what was
It's
great?
a Tourette syndrome at this point.
But the good thing that we had going for us was we got to bully everyone from the Happy Madison movies to be in it. But also we got great crew. Like the production designer has designed every Happy Madison movie and about a billion other things. And we had no money, and he designed and built that whole office.
Oh, yeah.
That he was in with that chair.
Which is funny because now every gamer alive has that chair. You can get it on Amazon for like $7 now.
But literally, all that stuff you see, like it just worked out. Like we found this studio that had just opened, and they had an office building in the studio. And they were like, yeah, whatever floor. So we found floors that had stuff already built. And then it used to be some oil company. And they bought all the land. But it was the White Room existed as is. And they said, they go, this is a weird room. And it was where they kept the computers. Because they were all like the 6 foot tall, you know, like 1970s futuristic computers. Yeah. And so it was just this giant white room. And I think it was you who was like, JP lives here.
Yeah. I'm like, this
and so we just made it very like, we put just like a weird desk and just nothing else. And he would ride around.
Just a random statue in the corner.
Yeah, and then
Samantha.
But it just looked like we were like, what would a psycho like him who has a lot of money, what would his life be like?
Sitting in a room, fingering a statue. You know?
Yep.
Taste the genitals. Taste it.
One other random casting too is the landlord at the beginning, which was played by Rob Schneider, who did a phenomenal job. But the original casting for that, the landlord was going to be fucking Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
And we had given Quentin the script, and he loved it.
Yeah.
But he couldn't schedule it wise. He couldn't do it.
Apparently, he had to go like make Django. No, not.
No, it was way back. But he couldn't do it. And then full circle, I'm on Conan O'Brien's show promoting Grandma's Boy, and I was the second guest, and the first guest on Conan was fucking Tarantino, and he was promoting a movie that he produced called Hostel. So we had to open against Hostel, and we ate hot shit.
Oh yeah.
But I was sitting there backstage with Tarantino, and I'm like, hey, I'm Nick Swardson. I was one of the writers of Grandma's Boy. And Tarantino had clearly just come off a bender. And he was like, hey, man, fucking love that movie, man. I love that movie. Oh, yeah, Sandler and Covert, man. Yeah. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then and then he was on the panel with me, but I was like, we were dead. Because he was promoting the shit out of Hostel.
And it said, Quentin Tarantino presents. Like, his name was bigger than the whole poster. I was like, oh,
yeah, but that was a weird full circle.
That's all right.
No, it's not.
Yeah, did you throw up Friday night?
What is
Opening
that?
weekend?
Did I?
When they called me and told me how bad we were bombing, I was like, I'll be right back. And then the next day, I was like, whatever, it was funny. No, but someone called me after the bad weekend, one of the Farrelly brothers. I can't remember if it was Peter or Bobby, and I'd never met them. And he called and he was like, I saw your movie, it's great. He goes, 10 years from now, no one will remember this day except you. And it's true. And he was like, I've been there. And I realized he was talking about Kingpin.
Yeah.
Because Kingpin ate it.
Oh, really?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and they were coming off of something about Mary and.
Well, let me ask, how many of you guys own the Grandma's Boy DVD?
That is a
impressive.
solid turnout.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask another question. How many of you guys stole that DVD from Blockbuster?
Yep, that's a good turnout.
There we go.
And how many of you had to buy multiple copies because one of your stoner friends stole it?
And never gave it back.
I'll bring it back next week, man.
I like it.
I think I remember buying it because the stores didn't have it. And at the time, like when that came out, like I think I was still managing a Hollywood Video right out of college, and it never came back. People just kept it.
Yeah, no, all of a sudden when it came out, everything changed on DVD, and it just all of a sudden people were just like, oh, I saw your movie. It was great.
Yeah, I was actually at an event. I talk about it in my stand-up, but I was at an event with Sandler, and Sandler introduced me to a guy, and he's like, I can't remember the guy's name, it's like Rick or something. And he's like, Rick, do you know Nick Swardson? He's like one of the main writers and co-star of the movie Grandma's Boy. And this guy Rick goes, yeah, I know, ugh. And he said that to my face, and I go, oh, what's that about? And he goes, I'm one of the CEOs of Blockbuster Video. And he goes, Grandma's Boy was one of our most stolen movies of all time. And I go, no way, that's awesome. And he's like, no, it's not awesome.
I was like,
what?
Nothing.
Okay, well, what? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But anyway, I told the guy to sit on my face. I went, sit on my face! Sit on it!
So obviously, you guys are all hilarious. Nick, you're like one of my favorite comics. I think you're
Thanks,
the best. But so the cast was maybe not at the time like loaded, but when you look back today, like, holy shit! Like you guys must have had so much trouble getting through these scenes. So is there like a story about a particular scene that just, a million breaks? It had a ton of refilms, just impossible to film.
Him coming into the game room every time. I mean, because there were like 30 young guys in there, and no one could hold it in.
Yeah,
and
I mean, like
literally he killed everyone. Like any stuff in that game room.
Well, I just improvise all the time. Like, I was coming off the show Reno 911. I was still on that, and that was thank you. But that was all improvised. So I'm like a complete fucking lunatic. Like, even though I'm like a part of the writing process, I improvise so much. So any movie that I've done, whether it's Bucky Larson or Just Go With It, like I'm always improvising. So it catches people off guard. So, and then on the flip side, I enjoy filming. Like I love making movies, and I forget I'm in a fucking movie. So I'm just like sitting there in a scene watching it, and then I forget like I have a line. But like, every scene I swear to God, every scene with Joel, it was constant. It was like anger from the director, and he was like, you gotta stop. And like, when somebody tells you not to laugh, it's the worst thing you could do. And then when they get angry about it, and then it's even funnier.
But
so I was
remember,
a victim
Nick,
of that.
I think that the boa line is the one that made it, but it wasn't specifically anything about a snake or anything, because that was just one of maybe 10 lines that you
I
threw
gave you
at
like
me.
10 or 12 alternatives.
He would just sit off camera, and I would just be talking, and literally, I mean, there's probably some epic take of just a 5-minute
runner
take
of that,
a
yeah.
runner of this, where he would just be off camera, and he would just throw me line after line to say. Some I could get through, some I couldn't, and we'd all just start cracking up. But it's funny. It was funny to finally see what made it, because I'm like, I don't even remember saying that shit, because it was one of 20 things that I said in that one take,
Yeah, and it was like JP was such a great character because it's this prodigy that's like so full of shit, and he has so much money and he doesn't know what to do with it. So I came up with like the metal legs.
Yeah.
And then like it was always like you rambling about what you're gonna do with your money.
Yes.
So like buying a Cobra and wearing it, and then like I'd be like, oh no, now say you want like a diamond tarantula, and he'd be like, okay. And it was just like a grab bag of just crazy weird shit.
Hello? But also like when he's hitting on Linda.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
these things he thinks are cool. He's like, I'm going to a nanotechnology conference.
Yeah.
Like just shit no one's ever heard of like 30 years ago.
And you came in and you were like, we did a couple takes, and you were like, at this time when you leave, just like robot dance out of the door.
Just
It's like,
robot
all right,
walk out.
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, I've told this story before, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the entire "How can they see me" moment was like kind of
That was
made up,
improvised.
right?
Well,
You
that was
needed
in the
a scene
moment.
between two scenes or something, and we had to like
we were setting something up, and it was like we realized there was a black. I think
There was a jet black wall.
and he was,
and you
we
had
were
that jet black
laughing.
trench coat.
And so we were like, oh, bring a camera over here real quick.
and they
Because
just
I
put
think we were supposed to meet walking down the hallway.
That's right, and
That's
they
why we
changed
were
it.
in the
And you and
hallway.
Goosen walk up, and you're like, "Hey, will you just put yourself up on the wall here, and pretend like nobody can see you?"
Yeah, just.
And I'm like,
Just try and
what
blend
the
into the
fuck
wall.
does that mean? And he go, no, it'll be great. Just put yourself up on the wall. Covert will walk out. And I go, what do I do? And he goes, well, when he sees you, just be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I believe that he can't see me. And they're like,
and then we just talked to him. We're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How did they see me?
and it ended up to be one of the most iconic scenes in the movie,
Yeah,
where
I
it was
love
just
that.
like a random fucking weird transition scene they wanted me to do.
Then there's
Yeah.
also weird stuff that gets huge laughs, like that I never think would get a laugh until I see it in front of people. Like, I know it's a great joke, but it was always just in the stage directions. It wasn't even a line where the monkey and I are playing video games, and I go, "You got skills," and it always just was a little thing that said, "We cut to the TV, it's not on."
Yeah.
I in my head was like, "Oh, that's funny," but never thought about it. And then we were testing the movie, and they cut to the screen. It was like, "Rah!" And I was like, "Oh shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a bonus." No, but we had fun. Yes.
Was there ever a different plot where you did the whole health food came David Spade to try a little bit? Was there ever a different plot?
Did you just say plot and Grandma's Boy?
Yeah, come on, Dad. Look.
Spade then.
No, that was it. That was literally my whole thing with getting all of those people in the movie was saying, half a day, man. Half a day in town, show up. You don't get here early, we'll shoot around. You know, that's how I got everyone, except Nealon.
No, Grandma's Boy, but to answer your question, Grandma's Boy was all on. That was exactly what it was.
Yeah.
That movie was not overwritten. It was not over-edited. Like I think we cut one scene out where there was a wedding scene.
Oh, it was
but
great,
otherwise, like, that was it, man. Like, we didn't. That
Yeah.
script was a tight fucking 92 pages, man.
But it broke every rule because, like, the third act of our movie is people would like they'd be like, your third act is like 5 pages. Yeah. It's like he steals the game and then she goes and saves it. And I'm like, well, what else do you need?
Yeah, it just wraps
I was
up.
like, let's wrap it up and go home. And you know, because normally they would have been like, oh, and then they would, they wanted things like, what if JP goes on a date with Linda? And I'd be like, what if we meet and like each other and there's no conflict?
yeah.
Like, happens a lot of times. You know, not everything's a devious plot.
Yeah, the original script had some fucking awful scene where you sang to her in a taxi cab.
Oh my God.
And it was like this romantic comedy
Yeah,
diarrhea.
No. Yeah, I don't think we kept anything. But the wedding scene we cut. Did we have any of the wedding scene?
No.
One guy, it was the most frustrated. This one guy just couldn't. The guy who played my dad.
He wasn't in the movie either.
Yeah, he got cut out
Yeah.
because of that day. That's why that scene's not in the movie. But we also had something so inappropriate.
What? Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. Wasn't that Karachi's character?
Yeah. We had the character in.
That didn't make the movie, did it?
No.
No, the whole wedding scene got cut. Anyway, next question.
So, like, what was the wedding scene, though? Like,
It's nothing.
Oh,
It's
nothing, okay.
Literally, it got
It's
cut.
like me. Like I
It
was.
wasn't an amazing scene that got cut.
Actually,
it wasn't like.
No, parts of it were really funny, and parts of it were way too much, and parts of it just sucked. The part with me and my dad sucked. I was funny. But then there was me sitting at the kiddie table. That's in the movie. Yeah, that's in the movie.
Oh, yeah, okay,
See?
that's in the movie.
But that's the reception, not the wedding. But then there was another part of the reception where Doris says, oh, your cousin Steven sang the ABC song. And I go, oh, how was that? And she goes, oh, you missed it. Here, Steven. And he was mentally slow. And she made him sing the ABC song for me. I thought it was funny. Other people were quite appalled. But you know what? You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine that. Think of that. Of all the stuff in the movie, that was the one where I was like,
Yeah. Well, this is a side note about Grandma's Boy. Is my grandma, rest in peace, was really religious, and she saw an ad for the movie Grandma's Boy. I don't know if anybody knows this story. She saw the ad in the paper, told her nurse, and her nurse brought her to the theater. She didn't tell me, but she thought I had written a movie about her. This is 100% true story. She brought my grandma to the theater in her wheelchair. Yeah, and then she told me my grandma then walked out of the movie. And then my mom, she sent a letter to me saying that I was going to hell. She retracted that before she died, so I got that going for me.
But by the way, the cast, we had some other people in there.
Well, yeah, one of the guys that came into audition, before the door even closed, I was like, we have to get that dude. Like, fucking now.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anybody else. And it was Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
He was
No,
he
fun.
was great.
The casting director, Lisa, said to us, she goes, I saw this kid, and he's not what you were looking for, but I think you guys might like him.
What do you mean? He was right for it?
No, I know, but no, because it was used to be, it was a different, it wasn't written as a chubby guy.
Right, but it was just a worker.
But
like
I think we might have had him, there was something in the description, and she was like, it's not what you asked for, but I brought him in anyway.
Yeah, he was great.
And he came in, and literally the door shut, and we're like, get him, call him, book him.
Yeah, he had just done, I think, Huckabees, and maybe he had booked 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, but
was
he
that
hadn't
when he had
shot it yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, we knew.
Yeah, he was great.
Like, and by the time the movie was over, I was like, oh yeah, Jonah's going to be huge. And then Kelvin went on to be a writer-producer.
Yeah, Kelvin's great. Yeah, they were
And the
all
great Linda Cardellini, I don't know how we got her. Because normally, she was on ER at the time. And normally trying to get an actress off of a TV show for break, like even if it's an ensemble, the producers are always just like, no, we can't do that. Oh, not those days. Literally, the guy at ER loved her so much, he said, send me your schedule, I'll work around it.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay, and I just hung up real quick before he could change his mind. And that was it, she was in.
Well, the craziest thing is the old women who were Doris Roberts, Shirley Jones, Shirley Knight. These are legendary, iconic actresses. So we were, rest in peace to Doris and Shirley Knight. But it was crazy because I couldn't believe that we got them. I was like, this is crazy. So we were when they were on set, I was like, I can't believe, I can't thank you enough for doing this movie. I'm like, I can't believe you guys did it. And they all said, they were like, we never get offered stuff like this. We're always the sweet grandma. We're always this. We're always pigeonholed. They're like, we don't get movies where we fucking drink weed. They're like, this is insane.
And Shirley...
This is like a night, like a date, like a dream.
First of all, with Doris, Lisa was like, I'm going to send the script to Doris Roberts. And I went, don't waste Doris Roberts' time. I was like, she makes about $1 billion a week on Raymond. She's got Emmys. She is not doing this like low-budget weed movie. She goes, I'm sending it anyway. And then like 3 weeks later, she's like, Doris wants to meet you. She has some questions. And I, oh yeah, she's going to come in and go, can we lose all of this and this and that? And she came in and she goes, why does she love him so much? And I went, because that's based on like, I can do nothing wrong as far as my grandma's concerned, and it drives my sister and everyone else crazy. She's like, you didn't even show up for her 80th birthday, and all she did was talk about how great you are. I was like, because I sent her cab money. I bribe her. And Doris was like, oh, okay, good. Yeah, this will be fun.
And with any movie, like once you get a part like that, and Doris Roberts is attached, you know what I mean? Then that gets other people going like, oh, if Doris Roberts is doing it, so Shirley Jones and Shirley Knight were.
Shirley Jones wanted specifically to play that part, though. She literally was like, I want to be the dirty one.
She wanted. Yeah.
Because she's Mrs. Partridge, and.
You can say it. She wanted to fuck me.
Yeah.
Come on.
No. But
it's right there. It's on camera.
She got mad at him. She got mad at him because he got nervous when he was supposed to put his hand on her boob or whatever you did, and he kept giggling. And she thought that
I was like, it's okay.
But she thought that he was like
being a pussy,
disgusted by.
Well, no, I was just like, it's like. It's a fucking old lady, so it's like a sweet old lady. I'm like, can I grab your boob? But the most awkward part was that day of shooting. We were in bed, and we were doing the post-sex or whatever, and it was the only day of the whole shoot that her fucking husband and her son came to set. So they're literally 30 feet from the bed. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I kept like leaning over to them. I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. And then we're talking about, in character about how she's just a complete whore. Like her character. And then Sandler comes over to me, and it was one of the rare times he was on set, and he comes over and he goes, hey man, what'll be funny is if you lean over and you go, I should have worn a condom. And I was like, yeah, that's amazing. And I rolled over and looked at the husband. I'm like, sorry, dude. But that was awesome.
Neil in improv. Didn't he improv the Dolphins?
No, fuck no. I wrote all that dialogue.
Did you write that?
I wrote all of that dialogue, for sure, for Mr. Cheezel.
I used to smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah. But Mr. Cheezel was Sandler's idea. He's
he
like,
goes, call him Mr.
he came up with the
Cheezel.
name for it. We're like, what is that? He's like, I don't know. Mr. Cheezel.
He loves making up stupid names because in Bucky Larson, the lady who's your neighbor is Mrs. Bozabop.
Yeah. Yeah, Sandler's just so
We're like, what?
man.
He's like, Bozabop. We're like, all right, Bozabop.
Have you guys ever been able to sit in like an Alamo or one of those kind of theaters and do a screening where you guys can just sit back and kind of like enjoy the work and see the reaction and listen to the laughs and things like that? Because I mean, this movie is goddamn hilarious.
Well, people have to be in the theater for you to react.
We're going to do this next year because next year's the 20th anniversary of Grandma's Boy, huh?
Yeah, so we're figuring that out.
So I'm actually when I get back tomorrow, I'm actually reaching. I was supposed to reach out to the people at Disney because now Disney owns it. And
Isn't that hilarious?
if we
Disney
tried to
owns
do
Grandma's Boy.
If we tried to do a screening, though, they would sue the shit out of us if we didn't have the legal.
Not if we did it at Disney World.
But no, so I actually have to call them and negotiate a deal so that we can do a bunch of screenings next year. But
How much editing would it be?
How what?
How much editing would it have to be?
No, you
None.
got to do the whole thing.
No.
It's got to be
But the
raw.
thing
You got to
is,
raw
like,
dog it.
most.
Ooh. Jonah.
But most people have never seen it in a full theater. Did you come to one of the test screenings?
I saw it in the theater. I think Sorty and I saw it together.
but
with
I
you.
Yeah,
mean,
but the test screening was
The
crazy.
test screenings were like 800 seat, like 500 seat theaters. It's a different experience. I mean,
Well, that was kind of the sad thing is when we
It's-
were testing the movie, these packed theaters, and it would just destroy. It played so
my
well.
God.
And we were like, oh my God, maybe we do have like this huge hit, but they just had no idea how to market
sell
it
it.
or get the word out. But I remember watching it with like a full audience, and they didn't know what to expect. And it was awesome, man. It was like
the
a
chairman
concert.
of Fox high-fived me after one of the screenings and said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, we're golden. The other chairman of Fox, who was in charge of the marketing, was like, is that movie legal? And I went, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Because the guy who approves the movies was like, yeah. And the guy who sells them was like, no. You know, they thought it was for 14-year-old boys, and you should have seen the posters they sent us. Oh, they sent us horrible stuff, and finally we're like, no, draw the grandma's house and have all the characters.
Well, it's misleading, like my own grandmother. Like, so when you see a poster and you're like, grandma's boy, you're like, what does that even mean? And then you have all these senior citizens.
That reminded me. Were you going to ask a question? I was
No,
going to tell.
you're fine. No, please
I'm going to tell a
go ahead.
funny little anecdote. So this was like 2005. We shot this. In 2007, I'm auditioning for Avatar. And I do for my first audition. I come back and I'm meeting James Cameron. You have to have like a big session because he wants to know. He intended to do all these sequels that we're doing now, and so he wants to make sure that he can put up with me for 20 years, right? On a long program that we were doing. So I do this. I get the role, and I was up against other big names at the time, but Cameron doesn't care about names. He just, as you can see, Avatar, besides Sigourney Weaver, we were all basically, brand new, and or beginning our careers. And so we get on set. This is like 6 months into it, and we're like a family at this time. We've done 14-hour days of like performance capture and everything. And I'm talking to Cameron, and I'm like, hey, now that we like know each other, I want to ask you an honest question. Why me? And he's like, oh, I loved you. I immediately, I responded to you. And he goes, well, the one thing that I do is I go and I take these tapes, and I choose like my top 5, and I give it to my kids. And my kids watch it, and they come back to me, and they kind of like, I know who I want to go, but they tell me what they like. And one of my kids, it was a 16-year-old boy, one of my kids came up and he goes, you should get the guy from Grandma's Boy. How fucking crazy is it that
I never knew
in
that.
a weird world,
I love
James Cameron knows about Grandma's Boy, and there was sort of connectivity between these two things. So in a way, I got to thank you for a 20-year
Dude, I never knew that.
That is
I
so
didn't tell you
awesome.
this.
No, that's
I think I said it in an
insane.
interview before, but yeah, on set, I just remembered that, and I'm like, oh my God, how on earth? I don't think he's ever seen it, but I'm very happy that his child saw it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, one of my favorite things is when I went to go see Avatar in the theater, and I went opening weekend, I was so excited, and I'm sitting there, and I obviously love to support Joel, and then the people in front of me, they didn't know that I was sitting behind it, but they just go, the movie starts and it's playing, and they just go, that's fucking JP. And that made me laugh so hard. It's this big multi-billion-dollar blockbuster, and they're like, that's
But
JP.
recently, did you see the memes? It was when Elon was doing.
Yeah.
Elon was doing something, and everyone was posting him on the Segway, just going, "I am a genius."
Yeah, that correlation's hilarious.
It was so, because this was like early YouTube.
Yeah.
And everybody it went viral, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody was like watching this, and I would hear from all of my friends, they were like, have you seen, you couldn't post it on Instagram at this point, right? So you actually had to just hear from people, and they were like, have you seen the long version of what you do in that room? I'm like, no, I had to go like look at it online as well. On a computer. Remember those?
Yeah.
And if you didn't have anything, it would go.
Exactly, yeah.
I just want to say, so unfortunately we're at time, but I mean, I could do this all day. This was amazing. But if you
sorry.
guys do, I mean, you guys should all come back next year. There's a theater right across the street. We could do it. Awesome. That'd be a blast. But
Yeah, no, seriously.
before we go, real quick, this is a personal thing. Real quick, Alan, could you give us a They Were Cones real quick, please?
They were cones.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Grandma's Boy, everybody.
Thanks a lot, you guys. You're awesome.
Go see Avatar.
But hey,
Go see Avatar in the
If you-
theaters.
honestly,
Avatar
I'm
3
ju-
in the theaters, December 19th. Go see it.
Jim Cameron has enough money. Go see. Yeah, go see Grandma's Boy. If we do a screening, I'm telling you guys, you need to see it in a full theater. It's unbelievable.